Hi, everybody. It's Melinda Gallant, and I am here at another exciting Cape Conversations. That's right. Where am I? I think you can see where I am. So come along. Let's have another Cape Conversations. Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant. Oh my gosh, where am I today? They let me out of the studio. Yippee! I am very fortunate because I am sitting on kind of a sand dune down by the new boardwalk construction. Yippee! And I am sitting here with three, first of all, very handsome men, which, as you all know me well, I like that. And I am with Alan, right? I see I'm going to get the names wrong. Alan, Barry, and I know Sam Jensen because he's from Sandwich. So hi, guys. Welcome.
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, okay, Sam, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
You're the man on the hot seat.
All right.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm Sam Jensen. I'm assistant town engineer with the Town of Sandwich Engineering Department.
Yeah?
And I am glad to be here today, seeing this construction in progress. It's been a lot of work to get to this point, and it's really impressive work that's going on now that we're going to tell you all about. And just excited to be here.
That's wonderful. So what's your job? What's your role
My
here?
name's Barry Belcastro with ACK Marine and General Contract.
And it has nothing to do with Nantucket other than the call letters of
Call letters,
of
correct.
the airport.
Yep, we're in Quincy, so we're land-based.
Yeah.
I'm the estimator for the project and then project manager.
Oh, wow. Great job. And you, Barry, what do you do?
I'm Alan Pepin.
Alan, you're Barry. I told you I'd screw it up. Alan.
Alan Pepin with GI Consultants. We were the design engineers, the engineer records for the design of the boardwalk.
Excellent. Well, now tell me. I'm going to ask you first because you're the design engineer, right? So where are we in this project? How's it coming along?
It's coming along very well. It's been a long road to get here. The regulatory process to get here was very long.
Well, it was contentious.
There was a little bit of that, but also just work within the waterfront and going through the marsh like we have to do with this. There's a lot of additional regulatory steps that need to be taken, and it's just a long process to get here. So
Sure.
So we're well under construction now, and making some significant progress.
So I was telling all of you that I sit on the other side in the parking lot and watch you guys work. And I want Sandwich to know that I am making sure you guys are working. So they can rest assured they're getting their money's worth. So tell me, what were the metal posts that went in first?
Those are the helical piles.
The what?
The helical piles.
Helical piles.
They provide all the support for the foundation of the boardwalk. So those are the lifeline of the boardwalk. They will provide the resistance and rigidity for long term.
So what do they go into?
They just screw down into the sand, into the marsh.
So how far down do they go?
They range a little bit, but on average about 30 feet down into the...
Wow. 30 feet?
30 feet.
Wow. So there shouldn't be any with big waves or with big tides and king tides and that kind of thing. They shouldn't waver at all.
No, they shouldn't.
Wow.
They were installed to a torque capacity as well as the depth to make sure that we have the anticipated strength out of it and that we're with it.
And how do you know you have that much room to go down into?
We did, as part of the design process, we did a very in-depth geotechnical investigation. So we actually did some test piles prior to completion.
I see. And so you just get to come out as project manager and make sure he's done it right?
I just make sure these two do their job well, that's all. But it's fun. These guys, I shouldn't be sitting in this seat. The guys who are out there should be sitting here because it's them who do all this work. And it's a tough project, but they're doing a great job.
So have you done other projects like this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've done several boardwalks, but that's what we
Really?
do. We're a marine contractor,
Right.
so we work around the water constantly.
I see. So you said you've done other boardwalks. Do you have one off the top of your head?
Yeah, we did one in Squantum and Quincy for
Oh, really?
residents, but it was pretty substantial, similar to this. Not
Wow.
it was not as many helicals on it,
Yeah.
but there was a
Okay.
few. And then we did one out in Nantucket,
Oh, wow.
and that was a fun project that involved some helicals. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's neat work.
Yeah. Well, it would be. It's kind of creative, isn't it?
Definitely is. I mean, if you look at it, and it's the design that makes it creative, but
Right.
figuring out how to do it and how to build it, that takes a little creativity too.
So, Sam, so, people's hair in town was on fire over this boardwalk. And now it's coming to fruition. And you're hoping it will be done when?
They are on track to finish work this spring.
Is that right?
Well in advance of Memorial Day. That's the
Wow.
goal.
I mean, depending on weather. I mean,
Of course.
you got any snowstorms in
course.
there or anything? Because they're saying February could be a bear of a month here. So,
Yeah, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the winter has in store for us. Hopefully, we'll have another mild one like we have for the last few years, but we never know. From what I understand, there is a little bit of slack in the schedule, so there's some buffer that can accommodate a few snowstorms.
oh, that's good.
But we anticipate it'll be done well in advance of Memorial Day.
And who came up with the design? Your company?
We
You
did.
did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the design.
So I mean, we obviously had a lot of public input on the project.
Trust me.
Just a little.
I know.
But one of there was a few things that we definitely heard as part of that is trying to maintain the existing look as much as possible.
Right.
So although we have those steel shaft, the helical piles that go in there to maintain the timber look, we did a timber facade around it just to, so when you look out, you're not seeing those steel structures, you're seeing timber, like the timber pile that used to be.
Well, I asked you, when are you going to tear down the old boardwalk? I asked you that, and you said, oh, no,
Yeah.
that's all new.
That is the new one. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what's it made out of again?
So the foundation is steel piles, so that's what gets screwed down. But then the rest is just marine grade pressure treated wood. So it's made to be in this environment and withstand the salt intrusion and everything like that in the marine environment.
I see. And the design, why? I mean, the design mimics what was here before, but it's a little higher. Is that correct?
A little higher, yes. And the main driver for that is sea level rise, resiliency. We're seeing a lot more storms. The frequency of storms coming up higher. We've seen with some of the storms previously when this area has been flooded, even where we're sitting.
I know.
The only thing you can see is the top of Mill Creek Bridge.
Right.
So for the height of the boardwalk, we mimic that height
I
to
see.
get it above the majority of the storms we see now, and if it will, as it progresses through its service life, there will be a chance of getting inundated near the tail end of its service life.
So the bridge itself, it's going to be a little higher.
Yeah.
Significantly?
Not significantly.
Okay.
It's about 2 feet at the highest point, higher than what I just felt they'd do it.
Not like 60, which
No,
is
no.
what everybody was throwing around there at one point.
Yes. So the existing bridge had the railings on it as well.
Yep.
Because we have to bring the new construction up to code.
Yeah.
The railing's going to be slightly higher.
Yeah.
But it's a code requirement that we
It's
have
like
to.
if you build a deck, you have to higher railings down. Yeah.
Exactly. And then yes, we raised the elevation of the bridge a little bit, and again, the main reason for that was to maintain that existing look.
Oh,
and that
aesthetic.
the aesthetic aspect of it. We didn't need to raise it, but one of the big comments we got was wanting to all aesthetics as much as possible.
It has to look just the same,
It
but
does.
not.
That's right.
Yes. So we incorporated a slight arch into that as much as possible to maintain that.
I see. So back to you, Sam. One of the other questions was about jumping, and I know you're a town employee, so you're not going to say that people can jump off any bridge here,
I would.
including East Sandwich,
Right.
next to 6A, which is the scariest thing, those kids up there with cars whizzing by. But if somebody wanted, just say, they wanted to fish for crabs or take a little hop off into the high tide, will that be possible?
Well, I wouldn't say that we're going to encourage people to jump off a bridge,
I
even if
understand
all
that.
their friends are jumping off as well.
Right. You
But at
wouldn't
the
jump
same
off the
time,
Sagamore Bridge, right?
At the same time, the platforms and the ladders that were on the former structure, there's going to be new platforms and new ladders that would be very similar
I see.
to what was there before.
I see.
So while we aren't necessarily advocating for people to jump off the bridge,
Of course not.
at the same time, the town's policy is going to remain the same on it, as far as I know.
You don't advocate, but
And
if
activities
people are
like
crazy enough to do it, there you go.
yeah,
You're not responsible.
right. That's right. And activities like crabbing, those can continue as well.
Yeah. Well, I always laugh because they were all upset. Oh, we won't be able to crab off the bridge, but all they have to do is go over there, and that's where they all are anyway.
Yes, there'll be other access points.
Yeah.
And then also the gaps in the railings have been sized so that you could get a crab line through and be
good.
able to go
Good.
through it in that way. So there was a lot of attention given to that during the design process. I think people will be very happy with the product when it's done.
So what is the railing again? Who knows the most about the railing?
I probably would.
Okay. You get to do all of the
I
talking.
do, I
And
guess
I
so.
screwed up your name. Jeez.
So the railing, it actually varies depending where you are on it.
Yeah.
There's going to be portions of it where there's going to be no railing. Anything less than 2.5 feet, we don't need railing. So we tried to
Which would be up where? At the other end?
at the other end along the approach right here.
Okay.
And then the majority of the run is going to be steel wire mesh.
Okay. And how big is the mesh?
That's what Sam was saying. Code states 4 inches. We requested a variance and actually got that increased to 6 inch.
Oh, good.
So it's almost a 6 inch opening
Yeah.
that you'll be able to put the hand through to do any kind of that crabbing.
Yeah.
And then once you get to Mill Creek Bridge, it transitions into what exists similar out there today is the horizontal timber boards.
I see.
So that it can be climbed, even though we're not advocating for climbing.
We don't advocate for jumping on.
But yes.
Yeah.
So is again to maintain that aesthetic look on what they're accustomed to seeing
Right.
on the Mill Creek Bridge.
How did you feel about coming into a small town like this with such a piece that is, what was the boardwalk built? Do you know?
Well, the earliest records that I'm aware of are 1875.
Right.
When
I thought it was in the
plank
1800s.
rock was
right.
funded by the town at that time.
Right.
So it's fun to be involved in the historical projects.
Right. So I was going to say, what was it like? Because you kind of got it from both sides.
Well, we were protected by the town when it came to the original portion of this job.
When they wanted
Interesting.
to blow you up and stuff.
So it's been quiet and it's
Yeah.
been great. We deal with it on a
Yeah.
pretty regular basis. So, but this project's awesome. So it was nice to be part of it. Be able to win it is even better.
And I would just add to that I'm out here on a regular basis monitoring construction progress, trying to anticipate potential questions and things like that. And
Because you got eyes.
Oh yeah, oh sure. This is a very visible spot.
Yes.
We're very well aware of that, and I just got to say that the crews that are out here are exceptionally dedicated. Like the conditions out here are very challenging. Working in the marsh and the coastal environment, all weather, dealing with the tidal inundation on a daily basis. It's been very challenging, but these crews are absolutely fantastic. They're meticulous. They had incredible attention to detail, and they're just doing a fantastic job.
Well, it seems like, I just walked through the construction area over there, and all the gentlemen over there who are hardworking guys, you can tell, very respectful and whatever. I'm sure they probably get questions too once in a while.
Oh, sure. Oh yeah.
They're told don't speak to anyone.
Send them to me.
No, you can
send them to you.
Send them to Sam.
Send them to Sam.
But Sam's right. We have two guys that I'll give a shout out: Todd Cochin and Phil Dwyer. These are the guys who are running this project.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is this a feather in your cap to do a project like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now you can go anywhere. I mean, you said you've done others, but have they been this long?
No,
I mean, this is a
and you won't find them this long
long.
too.
Yeah,
often.
no.
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 I mean, there's one down in Brewster, but other than that one, I don't know of any others.
This will be hanging on the wall.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Well, the good news is my husband's an artist and he's painted this 150,000 times. So now he gets to paint the new one.
New one.
New money. It's all good.
New
It's all good.
opportunities. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
is. It's all good. It's a wonderful
This
thing.
is a very rugged structure. It's amazing to just watch it all come together,
Yeah.
and the individual components are very strong and have the potential to last a very long time. So it's encouraging to see.
Oh, that's
um,
wonderful.
It's going to be an accessible structure.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So, in my early 40 years living here, I would ride my bike across it. And stay on the bike. I wouldn't do that now if my life depended on it. Before you tore it all down. But I've seen kids do it. It is a worrisome thing that if you're anywhat impaired, blind, in a wheelchair, you just couldn't go across it. You go off the grid there, right?
So now the new structure has design elements that make it fully accessible, that meet accessibility codes. Like from the Town Neck Beach parking lot, there will be a nice gentle slope up to the main boardwalk span itself, and there'll be a similar gentle slopes on the boardwalk roadside.
Oh, wonderful!
The width has been increased to 6 foot clear.
Wow, that's
Between the
amazing.
railings, yeah. So I think folks will really appreciate that, and it will have the full railings in locations where there's a drop that's close to the 30 inches
Right.
that code requires. So
So will it go as it has in the past up the hill to?
for now, the project ends at the sand dune, very close to where the former boardwalk had ended at the sand.
I see.
And then at a future phase, we will continue the work up and over the dune when an additional dune nourishment is done.
I see.
There's more complexities with getting over the dune because
I
of,
would imagine.
yeah, with the slopes that are required and all of
Right.
that. So this project will connect Boardwalk Road across the Mill Creek to Town Neck Beach, the Town Neck Beach parking lot, and then the beach itself here at what is known as Mill Creek Beach.
Right.
Folks can walk right off the end onto the sand at Mill Creek
Nice.
Beach.
Excellent. So you guys all, when it's all done, you all gonna jump off the bridge?
Absolutely.
No, the town doesn't.
What? Oh, come on. I'd pay to see that. Oh, that's great. So again, you think it'll be done, Sam, sometime?
The goal is to have this done in the spring, well in advance of Memorial Day.
Excellent. Well, I know we're not supposed to jump off it, but there is a thing where the police and the seniors have jumped off this bridge together. So in June after graduation. I would never condone that, though. Never.
It may happen, though. It may happen.
So your thoughts about all of this work? Do you feel good about it too?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. No, it's been a very great project to be a part of. The town and the team and even ACK when they came on board, it's just been a very open, collaborative approach to the entire project, which on my end it helps and
Sure, it makes it
facilitates.
easier.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. And you just don't have to do anything. You just sit back in your office,
Told you.
call the boys, how you doing? Yeah,
It's good stuff.
it's a good
Everyone
job.
just needs to be safe. That's
Yep.
all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
important.
Well, I'm sure that is
It's
a
number one.
concern. Yeah.
Numbers.
I mean, where they're working isn't exactly, as you've said many times, not an easy area to work. And it's muck. I mean, it swallows you up.
It's been a few swallowings.
It does. I won't tell you about my story getting swallowed there. So after kayaking. Well, I just think this is fantastic. So anybody who has any questions, Sam, who should they contact?
They can reach out to me,
Okay.
Sam Jensen at the Town of Sandwich Engineering Department.
Yeah.
My information is on our website.
Yeah.
That's probably the best place to get it.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to either answer the questions or pass them along.
Okay.
And another contact would be boardwalk at sandwichmass.org.
Oh, yeah.
And folks can email in any questions they may have on it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's great. I wish I'd known about this before this. They could have emailed you the questions instead of hounding me for them. So once again, it's going to be a little bit higher.
Yes.
And how much higher than the other boardwalk?
The Mill Creek Bridge itself is
Right.
only about 2 feet.
Only 2 feet.
The rest of the bridge is about 4 to 4.5 feet, depending where you are.
Right. And that's to accommodate tides and climate change and all that stuff.
Yep.
And the railing will go from one end to the other, except where it drops off to less than 2 feet?
2.5 feet, 30
Two and a
inches.
half, 30 inches. Okay. So, so people can feel that they can be safe going across. And
Yes.
with toddlers, they don't have to worry about them running ahead. And
Oh, because my kids would.
I know, my kids did. So, all right. Well, that's wonderful. I just want you to know, because I was a proponent of this. I was, quietly saying, "What is wrong with you people?" When it's all said and done, will it be on target money-wise?
That's where we're at now. So
that right?
that's
Great.
the expectation and the goal.
Good.
So
Good.
on budget, on time. I'm feel very fortunate to have these guys working for us and just doing a tremendous job. And I
Excellent.
think everybody is really doing just great work and doing the best they can to keep
Well,
it.
in this town, that's always the biggest concern.
Yeah, and you never know going into a construction project. There can be unforeseen conditions that can crop up. So we still have a long ways to go in this job, but so far so good, and I'm optimistic that we'll end up on time, on budget.
And the hardest component, is it going to be building the bridge?
The hardest component in the most area that there could have been some significant change was actually the helicals and getting the helicals in.
Is that right? Because you didn't know for sure?
Yeah.
Or
Because it's underground.
Yeah.
It could you could no obstructions. Then you get a patch where you have a bunch of obstructions and
yeah.
time delay and cost delay
Right.
associated with that. And the majority of those are in now. We just have a small section on the other side of Mill Creek,
Yeah.
on Boardwalk Road
Boardwalk Road, yeah.
side.
That's
but
where I'll be
We don't
sitting.
want to jinx it.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx it yet, but
No.
but we have the majority of them in.
So the bridge isn't hard to do. Well, it's hard. I mean, obviously it's work, but it's not as complicated as, to me, it seems like it'd be really complicated.
Well, the existing timber piles that are there now,
Uh-huh.
the way that those were installed were a lot different than the 4x4 posts that went across the marsh.
I see.
So those are driven to a much higher capacity. So
I see.
we're not actually replacing those. We're just extending them up
I see.
the little bit that we need to maintain
I
that
see.
arch.
I see. All right. That makes sense. And when was that done?
Those were installed in 1992 by AGM Marine, according
Okay.
to the records that we have
Okay.
in our department.
That wasn't part of the Geezer Brigade.
It was
They
around
built-
the same time,
Yeah.
but
With all due respect to the Geezers, because I know some
sure,
of them.
yep, and that work that they did lasted for a good 30+ years,
Yeah,
right?
it sure
So,
did. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice job. They did. Good job.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I just want to thank you today for being here with me and sitting here in these low chairs. It's like we're on the beach. We should have a glass of wine or a beer or something, shouldn't we? Anyway, I just really, really appreciate your time, and I appreciate yours, Sam, and you for putting this together so we could all talk to each other. This is great. And we'll get this out there and let's let people know, right? Let's make sure they know that this is what's happening, and they can now put their hair out. They don't have to have it on fire anymore, because you're going to be able to do the things you want to do off the boardwalk. It's just going to be safer and live longer, right? So hopefully. You are wonderful people. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much
Same
for
here.
having us.
Appreciate it.
Well, weren't those guys unbelievable? Sam, our own assistant town engineer. What a smart guy. And he's all ours. He works here in Sandwich. Fantastic. And the other two guys from the company, ACK, and the other Geo company, oh my gosh, they were nice. They're so knowledgeable. It was just terrific talking to them. And you got from the horse's mouth the correct information. So whatever you're reading on Facebook or Instagram, don't believe it because they gave you the right information. They're hoping to have it done before Memorial Day. And if it gets done before Memorial Day, we're all going to come down here and jump off the bridge together. Although the town does not condone jumping off the bridge, as we know. But you'll be able to do everything you want to do. So I want to thank you for coming with me today down to the boardwalk and hearing all the good stuff that's happening. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversations.